So we're here talking to Councilor Pasternack. What do you think has been the biggest change since you have taken office?
Well, what we needed was a major investment in our community. We had to bring a lot of money into the ward that had been lacking. So we've revitalized our parks, our community centers. We've started to upgrade our infrastructure, such as our roads and our sewers and our hydros. We've done massive tree planting, and we've put a lot of money into facilities such as playground sets, the ski hill, water parks, and so forth. So Ward 10 is very much a parks community and a recreation community, and that's why I asked to be on the Parks Committee, and that's perhaps one of the great improvements.
A recent report into Toronto's quality of life ranks neighborhoods based upon, I guess, the quality of life, and it designates priority neighborhoods. This replaces a different strategy. How has that strategy kind of changed the way we invest in our neighborhoods?
Right. So for a number of years, for about 11 years, Ward 10 has been the home to the Westminster-Branson priority neighborhood. We received some very good news lately that we no longer have the social needs. We've made some major improvements in the area, such as bringing in a 20,000 square foot, $10 million community hub at Bathurst and Finch. We've added free recreation programs at the Tibby's Community Center. We've added playground sets, and we've brought in a lot of social programs. So our ranking as a priority neighborhood has actually sunk. So we're now into what we call an emerging community, an emerging neighborhood. And we're working on a formula where we continue to get the resources so that we don't take a step back as a priority neighborhood, but we continue to invest in families and in people. So generally speaking, the priority neighborhood program is replaced by the Strong Neighborhoods program, and we'll be fitting into the Emerging Neighborhoods program of that.
How do you help get? How would you help a neighborhood not slide back after it's been into the Emerging Neighborhood category?
Yeah. Well, look, when you're the home to two of the fastest growing immigrant communities in the city, you've got to make sure that they have a good start when they arrive here. So that would be the Russian community and the Filipino community. So when they arrive, you want to make sure that the programs that contribute to success are there and well funded. So what are those programs? Social housing, access to jobs, access to city services, knowledge and access to our local schools, which are quite strong. I was a former school board trustee in the area. So you want to make sure that people who come here, who start fresh here, get a good start. And if you fund the programs that give those supports, you won't have a slide back into unemployment, a slide back into homelessness, a slide back into high dropout rates, those kinds of problems.
In what ways do you think City Council kind of helps with these programs? Like what proposals are currently on the table to kind of increase these programs or strengthen them?
Yeah, so I sit on the Budget Committee, and it's an enormous balancing act when you're trying to deal with a little under $10 billion every year. So we try to find a balance between keeping the marginal tax rate low so we don't hurt seniors or young families who are property owners, but at the same time preserving precious services and programs. So as a member of the Budget Committee, we expanded some new programs. We expanded our priority centers, which means that more community centers will offer free programs across the city in addition to Antibes in our ward. We expanded the area recreation care programs, the after-school programs as well, and we introduced new use spaces. We expanded that by 10 spaces. So what we've done is we've made Toronto an attractive place to buy property by keeping the business and tax rates low. but also at the same time making sure we have those valued social programs that keep our neighborhoods safe and flourishing and livable.
In your ward, like most of the Toronto wards, there's a lot of condo development and just development of new housing and new buildings going up. What kind of challenges is there in working with those developers?
Well, in Ward 10, we don't have the kind of density that they would have downtown. It's in downtown, sometimes you've got applications that are 50, 60, 70 stories high of condominium or mixed use. Sometimes it's commercial and condominium. We don't reach those heights. The biggest that I've seen is in the 12 to 15 story range in our ward. What are the problems? Well, you've got established communities that want to protect their neighborhood from traffic congestion, from shadowing, from putting extra pressure on resources such as water or electricity. So you have to find a balance. On one hand, having some good, strong development applications is a good thing for cities. On another hand, you have to protect established communities. So how you find that balance is the trick. I think we've been able to do that, working with groups, listening carefully, and getting the construction going. But we don't have a lot of those big styled applications.
In what what changes are you hoping to make to the ward in the future, just in terms of development and what's on the table for the future?
Sure. Well, we've got to continue to invest money in our water system to make sure we reduce basement flooding and make sure everybody gets the water pressure that they're paying for. We've got to upgrade our electrical so that we can avoid brownouts and blackouts. We have some big plans for the Centennial Library to expand the square footage and connect it with the arena next door so that we have sort of a community arts hub. We have some great designs for some park improvements across the ward. We're repaving Wilson Avenue and doing a brand new streetscape for the first time in 20 years. And of course we continue on with adding new cultural programs and arts programs to the Earl Bales Amphitheater, to the Antibes Park, and so forth. We're also working on a monument to World War II veterans. So we have a very ambitious plan. So we're excited about it. People are supportive, but there's a lot of work to do still.
Good. This has been Councilor James Pasternack. Thank you so much for this interview.
It's been a pleasure.